Yes, come in. Now, I don't have your book yet. And the reason is, your business course this year is a little different to last year. So I have to make some small changes. So for the moment, I'm going to give you the worksheets per lesson. Yeah. So please keep this somewhere safe. Okay, please. So who am I missing? Sleepy Boys and Marcelo. Is he becoming one of the Sleepy Boys? Junwei's a Sleepy Boy. And he's the king of the Sleepy Boys. So, of course, it's not working. Of course it's not. Why would it work? It's Wednesday. Now it's working. Okay. So, new semester, new chapter. So what we'll start with? Statistics. So to start this chapter is mostly practicing vocabulary and ideas. So does anybody know what? Does anyone know what this means? Statistics. Does anyone know this word?
Yeah, data. Data.
Yeah, that's part of it. How would you explain statistics to somebody? So data is part of it. So you know what?
It like show the ways how you describe the data.
Yeah. So
How
we've
to
got
explain how to understand the data.
keywords is describe and explain. Do you know this word from business, or have you? Is this not a word you've used in business class or economics? No. So, with statistics, it's usually, firstly, you have some data, and you know what data is? Yeah? Okay, so we know what data is. So statistics, or I maybe should say, a statistic is a summary of data. So a statistic describes data. And there's one example that everybody knows, which they learned from elementary school. What's your first example of a statistic that you first learned?
Mean average?
Average, yeah, mean average. For example, mean average. You know this word average, I hope. Yeah. So this is your definition of a statistic. So you need to write this down. Like I said, the first 2 lessons is more about definition and vocabulary first. Okay. Got that? Okay. I'll go down a little bit. Yeah? Anyway, back to data. So, have you talked about data in business? No.
He said something about
What did he say? Yeah.
next coursework
Coursework.
going to collect data and
You'll need to collect data.
yeah.
Good, okay. So data comes in two types, and Mark also uses this vocabulary. So this is good vocabulary for business as well. So the two types of data, well,
Qualitative, quantitative.
good. Now, did you hear that from Mark, or did you know that already?
I know.
You knew it already. Okay, you'll hear it from Mark as well. So data comes in two types. You need this vocabulary. So the first type is qualitative, and the second type is quantitative. Have you heard this word before? Anybody? No, these are new words. Yeah? New words for you too? Are they the same in Portuguese?
Yes.
Yes. Qualitative O or something?
Yeah, qualitative
Ah,
and quantitative.
practically the same. Okay, so let me just help you a little bit with pronouncing these. So you have come on, there we go. The main emphasis must be at the start with the qual or the quant. Oh, come on, come back. Come on, turn on. I'll use my mouse for the moment. Qualitative and then quantitative. So the main emphasis must be at the start. And also, at the start, you want to make sure that you get the L or the T, because that's the only thing that's different. So when you pronounce it, please make the start strong, and also the L and the T, the strongest part, so that the person can hear you're saying qual or quant. You know, you want to make the L and the T the strongest. Because a lot of times when students say it, to me it sounds like they're saying the same word. Okay? So please make the L and the T strong. This is what's different between the two. Okay? Right, and there are other words for qualitative and quantitative. Actually, you know what? I don't even need the stinking writing pad. I can just type it today. Okay, there are other words that mean qualitative and quantitative. So you don't know because these are new words. Maybe you know then. Another word that means qualitative? Yes, you know this one then. Another word, a synonym, is categorical. So then, do you know the one for
numerical?
Numerical, yes, okay, good. Good. Okay, so since you know these words, what's the difference between the two? So what's qualitative and then what's quantitative? So do you know qualitative? How can you explain it?
It's still about like words only.
Usually just like words, yeah. So
quantitative is numbers.
Usually, yeah. So qualitative is data which is usually like a word. Eye color, favorite food,
favorite movie, whatever, like.
But sometimes when you ask open question, you can category to some sort.
True, yeah, but it's still qualitative. So you could have like, what's your favorite food, what's your favorite movie, what's your eye color, what's your name, where do you live. This is all qualitative data. Quantitative is like number value. So how old are you? How tall are you? How much money do you have? How far away from school are you? This is all quantitative. Yeah? So let's just try and put that down. So our first definition, so qualitative. This data has no number value. I don't want to make the definition too difficult. It has no number value. It is usually just, it is normally just a name. So there's no value to it. So we can never ask how, let me zoom out a bit. How, too small?
Yeah.
So there's no number value, so you can't ask questions like how big this data is. So you couldn't ask how big is green eyes, you know, or for example, how big is blue? You know, that doesn't make sense because it's a color. It doesn't have a size. So what would you say would be quantitative? This data has a number value, a size. It is normally just a number. We can ask things like how big this data is. For example, how tall are you? Or how much money do you have? So this is quantitative. Got these? Yeah? How old are you? Oh. Okay, so what we'll do, and there's still much more to do, but I want to do the questions together. So can you all have a look at number 1? So in each case, you have to say if the data is qualitative or quantitative. Okay, so we'll do them together. So the first one, height of men in Ireland. So this data, quantitative. So you can just write on the page, quant for short. Quant, quant. Okay, the daily temperature in November. Quantitative again, yeah. The daily local exchange rate. Quantitative, yeah. Most popular political party. Qualitative, yeah. Now think carefully for E. Grade in mathematics. Your grade in mathematics. Qualitative, grade is A, B, C, D. Is grade. If I meant your number, like 85, 88, then that's score or results, you know. Usually we should only use grade for A, B, C, or D, not for a number. Yeah. So if I ask you what's your grade, I want to hear an A, a B, a C, or a D. Yeah. So E is qualitative. Okay. F. Blood type is qualitative. Yeah. G. The ingredients in a chocolate bar is qualitative. Yeah. H. NCUK points. Quantitative. Yeah. Good. I. The time when somebody scores a goal. Quantitative, yeah. The names in the phone book. Qualitative. Total goals scored by a football player. Quantitative. Calorie intake per day. Quantitative, yeah. Do you know this word, calorie?
Yes.
You do? Okay. I'm surprised. Right. Where are we now? H-I-J-K. M, is it? The hottest month. Qualitative. How much each of your last phone bills were? Quantitative, yeah. The color of each student's eyes. Qualitative. I'm missing the P, a copy of the attempt made by a child on their spelling test of the words 1 to 10. Qualitative, yeah. And the last one, the phone numbers in the Dublin phone book. Some say qual and some say quant. Which is it?
It doesn't mean like a value.
Exactly. It's qualitative because the phone book number is like the name of the telephone. It's the telephone's name. It's not really a value of anything. Yeah. Can you think of anything else that is like, it's a number but it's not quantitative, it's qualitative, but it's still a number?
First grade,
But yeah, that's still words though. I'm talking like just like a number, like your phone number, no letters, just a number. Well, another example would be IP address of your computer. You know IP address? Yeah. Something else?
Room number.
Room number, account number, bus number. These are all numbers, but they're qualitative because they're really names of rooms, buses, and so on. Yeah, we get the idea? Is it okay? Yeah. Right. So the next type. Now, qualitative comes in two types. So you can have qualitative ordinal or nominal. So these are the two types. Ordinal and nominal. Do you know these words? You know these words?
Ordinal, it has to be in order.
Yeah.
Nominal doesn't matter.
It doesn't, yeah. So, ordinal data is the ordinal qualitative data is the qualitative qualitative data has a natural ordering of size. So we can't say X is more than Y. But we still can't say how big they are. I'll explain this in a minute. Yeah. So what I mean by this is you can still say, you still cannot say how big it is because it's qualitative, but you can at least compare the data. So your example of first place, first place, second place, third place. This is qualitative, but you can say that first place is more than second place. Second place is more than third place. Your grades, is an A more than a B? Yeah, and is a B more than a C? Yeah. So although it's qualitative, it has an order. So we call it ordinal for order. It has an order. Gender, male or female. This is qualitative. Is it ordinal? No. Eye color is qualitative. Is it ordinal? No, there's no order to it. So in those examples we call them nominal. So nominal is the data has no natural ordering of size. Or if I want to be more clear, the qualitative data has no natural ordering of size. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So again, what we'll do is we'll go through number 2 together. So we have to say in number 2 if it is ordinal or if it's nominal. So let's have a look at number 2. The names of the Irish rugby squad, so the names of the people who play this game, is nominal, yeah. The TV shows on tonight, on RTE, is it just a TV station? So the TV shows on tonight, what's that? Ordinal, what's the ordering?
It's the time.
It's the time, isn't it? Yeah. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock shows. The list of all shows that will be on next year is nominal. It's just a list of names of shows. The names of students in a class. Nominal. Those awarded a medal in the Olympic Games. Yeah. This one's a little unclear. What do we think? Ordinal or nominal?
I think it's like gold.
Yeah, if it's gold, silver, bronze.
It's ordinal.
I think I'll go with ordinal because the person who won gold is bigger, better than the person who won silver. You know? So I'll go with ordinal. F. The name of each year of college. So I don't know if you know this, but in Ireland and America, college is 4 years, and each year has a name. Does anyone know their names?
There.
No. Fancier names for this. Yeah. Yeah, so first year is called junior freshman. And then next,
Senior.
senior freshman, correct, yes. Next,
Final or?
yes, junior sophomore. And then last year, senior sophomore. So these years have names. Do you do the same thing in China? Or is it just first, second, third, fourth? And for you? First, second, third, fourth, and for you?
First.
Okay. Alright, so it's just the Ireland American thing then. Anyways, is this ordinal or nominal? Yeah, it's ordinal. Okay, where are we now? G, is it? A list of the answers to the question, what is your favourite film of all time? Nominal, very good. Very good. Okay, H.
Like, do they ask them in order the films, or to like pick only the?
Here I was imagining just open question. What is your favourite film? No choices. Yeah. H. Last year's suppliers of electricity in Ireland. We go with nominal? I think ordinal. Now the reason for why I think ordinal is because of the word supplier. You know this word from economics? Supply? So if I say I supply coffee and he supplies coffee, well, if I say I'm bigger than him, does that make sense? As a supplier, what does it mean? I supply more. So because the word supplier is there, it makes it have a size. Who is the bigger supplier? Who supplies more?
But they might, like, when they show the data, they might not have an order of like biggest to.
Well,
supplier.
unless all the suppliers were the same size, but I don't think this would happen. You know what I mean? Like, for example,
Maybe the purpose of the data is to show who are they.
yes, and that is exactly why I use the word supplier. You know, like, I use this word for you to.
Yes, no, not like.
Oh, true, but okay, I'll put it like this. If I said, who are the electric companies in Ireland? Do you know their names? No, nobody pays electricity, no? Anyways, you know the electric companies in your home country? No, okay, fine. Who are the coffee shops in Ireland? Starbucks? Costa? Okay, now we're talking. What else? Insomnia, good, okay. So this is just nominal. But if I said, who are the suppliers of coffee to students? Now it's more ordinal, because when I say suppliers, I mean who supplies, you know, quantity, who's biggest, who's smallest. So who would be the biggest supplier? Starbucks, probably. Yeah. So I put this one in here on purpose to be difficult, because it's not always clear if it's ordinal or nominal. Okay. But this one I feel could be ordinal, if you have the data. The names of the occupants in each house in a district. It's nominal, it's just a list of names, yeah. J, the names of the owner of the owners of each house for sale in a district. I think ordinal, because if you are selling your home, you can have an order. Some people have a more expensive home to sell, you know. So if two people were selling their home and he wants 200,000 and he wants 250,000 and she wants 300,000, for example, I can put these in an order of size: 250, 300.
Or how big is the house?
Or how big the house is, you know, the floor area and so on. So for this one, it's ordinal. K, the name of each Sherlock Holmes story. You all know Sherlock Holmes.
Ordinal.
Sherlock.
The series.
Which one? No, this is just the stories, the originals, not the TV show. So the names of the stories. Nominal. And then, lastly, the name of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Do you know who Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is?
No.
No? You know him? Who is he?
I don't know his name, but I know his name.
Do you know this name?
Yes.
He is the person who wrote Sherlock Holmes, the author. So the name of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's publications of Sherlock Holmes. What do you think? And what would be the order? Do you know this word, publication? It's the date for when the story was released. You know? So like, for example, it'd be like, the first story be 1890, 1891, 1892. So because I said publications, it means a date, and because there's a date, there's an order. Like in the question B, the TV shows. It's the same idea. Yeah? Okay. So we know ordinal and nominal. So the next one now, down to quantitative. So again, we have two types. You can have continuous or discrete. Okay, so with continuous, it means that if given any two values, it is always possible to have a value in between these two. I should say if given any two values of quantitative data, but it doesn't matter. Okay, let me explain this. Height is quantitative. Do you two know your height? How tall you are? Do you know? How many centimeters? CN. What's your height? 160. And you? Guess, it's okay. What do you think? 161. Okay, fine. Now, this data is quantitative. It's a number value, size. She's 160 and she's 161. Is it possible for someone to be taller than 160 and shorter than 161? Is it possible? It's possible. So we say that height is continuous. Okay? Discrete is when this is not possible. So this would be if given any two values, well, you know what? It's the same, except I'll just change. It is not always possible. Let me give you an example. You know your shoe size, do you?
Yeah,
10. And yours? You know your shoe size? You do? 6. Now I know there's UK, US, EU, and China, so there'd be many different ones. Does anyone know their UK size? Some people, your UK size, you know, and you know. You're the same size? That's not helpful for my example. Okay, so for example, let's say my size is 10, and for example, we'll say your size is 9. Is it possible to have a size in between? Well, you can get 9.5. You can buy these sizes. Now, if his is a 9 and I'm 9.5, is it possible to get a shoe size in between these two? No, it's not possible. You can't buy 9.25. Okay? Yeah? You can't. Yeah? So how many coffees you buy a day is continuous or discrete? Discrete, because you can buy 1 coffee, you can buy 2 coffees, but you can't buy 1.5 coffees.
You can't have percentage and like
You could drink half, but you can't buy half. Yeah?
you can't like have a number and
Yeah?
decimal places for decimal places.
Decimal places is okay with discrete, like with the shoe size. So you could have 10, and you could have a 9, and you could have a 9.5 for a shoe size. So decimal place is okay with discrete. It's usually no decimal places. Yes? What's so funny?
I realized I told you I'm 160, but I'm not.
What are you?
Maybe only 157 now.
Oh, that is okay. Yeah, I didn't notice. Okay, so let's have a look at number 3 and decide if it's continuous or if it's discrete. So the first one we had a look at, shoe size. Shoe size is discrete. Yeah? Everyone's happy with that? Yeah. Income. Discrete. Now think. I ask Malik to work for me and I pay him 1 cent. Very bad employer, 1 cent. And I ask Tony to work for me and I only pay him 2 cents. Is it possible to have somebody paid in between 1 cent and 2 cents? No. Because you can't have 1.5 cents. Yeah. Now, income is nearly continuous because the numbers are so big. You know, if somebody's paid 50,000 and the other person's paid 60,000, can you find the middle? Yeah. And if you have 40 and 45, can you find the middle? Yeah. So most of the time you can, but not all of the time. You know, if I pay him 10 euros per hour and I pay him 10 euros and 1 cent per hour, there's not a middle there. So B is discrete, nearly continuous. Yeah. If you said continuous, that's okay, but technically it's discrete. The waist of each pair of Tesco trousers, you know, waist, how big around the center, continuous or discrete? Very good, discrete. The payment made on a loan.
Discrete. No, continuous.
Oh, you were right the first time, discrete.
No.
It's like with the income example again, the money. The height of students in a class. Continuous. F. What's F? The number of steps on a staircase is discrete. G. NCUK points. Discrete. Yeah. H. IQ score.
What's IQ?
Intelligence test, like how smart you are. It's discrete, yeah. I think IQ score is only whole numbers. I. How big your waist is, your waist measurement. Continuous, good. K. How much rain fell. Oh, sorry, J. How long each staircase is, its length. Continuous, because I mean, like, how many meters? Like 2 meters, 3 meters, 3.5 meters. Where am I now? K, is it? How much rain fell in November? Continuous. L, file size of each file on your computer. Discrete.
No.
Yep. Now it's like with the money because it's nearly continuous. So for example, take something like a gigabyte. 1 gigabyte is how many bytes? It's 1,000 megabytes. Well, about 1,000. I know, 1,024. But we make our life easy for now. And how big is a megabyte? It's 1,000 kilobytes. And how big is a kilobyte? 1,000 bytes. So you could have a file which is 1 gigabyte, and 1 gigabyte and 1 byte. But you can't have anything in the middle, because byte is the smallest. Well, no, that's not true, because you can have 8 bits equals 1 byte. But then bit is definitely the smallest.
So it's the same with time as well.
Maybe.
You can't like have this than millisecond.
But you can keep half it. You can have half a millisecond, half a microsecond, half, nanosecond. It can keep getting smaller. Does anyone know, by the way, what 1 bit is? Do we know this word? A bit? It's a 0 or a 1. So like 10 bits would be something like this. And 11 bits would be, something like... Can you have something in the middle? 10.5 bits? No. So file size is discrete, but it's nearly continuous because, like with income, the numbers are so big, usually there's a middle value, but not always. Okay. Next, the time each student wakes up at for school.
Continuous.
Good, continuous. Because you can, if you wake up first and I wake up second, is it possible for someone to wake up after him but before me? Yeah. The time each student sets on their Tesco alarm clock. I keep mentioning Tesco. The time each student sets on their Tesco alarm clock.
Discrete.
Discrete, good, because you can set your clock for 7:00 or 7:01, but you can't set your clock for 7:00 and half a minute. And this is why I said Tesco, because I know Tesco clocks are cheap. So maybe on your phone you could do this, I don't know. Or can you only set it by minutes on your phone? Is it only by minutes on your phone, or could you do seconds for the alarm? Just minutes? Yeah. Okay. We don't need to do question 4, so it's just 1, 2, 3. So for this lesson and the next lesson, we are just learning new vocabulary, okay? When's our next lesson? You got one tomorrow? Yeah. 2 tomorrow, okay. No tutorial tomorrow because we just started, so I'll do 2 classes tomorrow.